who I find attractive of the opposite sex.
Hey girlfriends, welcome to another episode of Tracy Gold Show. And today I am speaking to one of my favorite men, my men friends, Marc Middleton of Growing Bolder. And we are talking about a whole bunch of controversial and very fun topics. So Marc, what do you want to talk about today?
You know what have been interested in my own life as I've gotten older, trying to pay attention to who I find attractive of the opposite sex. We are different ages. I'm 70, you're in your mid 40s, I'm guessing. So we're both married. So what I'd like to ask you, Tracy, is what are you attracted to in terms of a significant other? Has it changed over the past couple of decades? And then finally, I want to know if you weren't married. Would you confine yourself? Would you constrain yourself to dating someone inside a certain age group?
Wow, that's a loaded question. That's a lot of questions, Marc. Yeah, so I've been married for 21 years. My husband, I'm actually 48. I'll be 48 in tomorrow. No, Sunday. And, my husband's 11 and a half years older than me. And when I met him, I was very drawn to older men because I wanted, and I say older, I mean, I don't think 11 years is much of a difference. And I definitely don't feel it's a difference between us. But for me, I just found that the maturity level in my 20s of men was not great. I really appreciated men who had more maturity. And, I was more attracted to the kind of person that he was. In fact, my husband loves the story. Before I met him, I went to a club, and I have a thing for all things Italian, and I do quite like Italian men. And there was this Italian man, and he was on the dance floor, and he was like boogieing it up with almost every possible girl on the dance floor. And then it came to kind of 5 o'clock in the morning, and my friend and I were still there. She thought he was cute. I didn't think he was that cute because I could tell he was so arrogant. But I go dance with him because she wants me to. And then he starts trying to schmooze up to me and like do the dirty dancing vibe. And I'm just like, I just start sidestepping. And, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married, but it's just not doing it for me. So he comes up to me and he goes, "Oh," he says, "you don't know what you're missing." And I just stood back and I said, "I'll take my chances." So to me, it was like, he was just not the kind of person that I'm attracted to. So for me, Marc, it's more around the person and less about the age, less about the actual looks. I mean, I do like men that are darker because I'm so fair skinned. I do find that attractive, but it's not exclusively. It's really just like the energy of somebody. What about you, Marc?
I think it's interesting. As I've gotten older, I have, I guess, been surprised and happily so to find myself attracted to older women. I never really thought about it beyond that, but I think it's kind of nature's way. I have always been attracted, Tracy, to people that have passion for anything. And I think I've told you this before. I really don't care what it is. If someone is excited about something and they're happy to talk about it and want to share it, and I find that really, really appealing. And I've always felt that way. I have to say, I think that, with the risk of getting myself in trouble, if I weren't married, I could find myself attracted to a woman 20 or 30 years younger than me, but I don't think I would date her just for fear that I would appear to be a dirty old man. I would probably avoid that, but I'm like you, if I get to talk to somebody, whether they're 30 or 70 or 75 or 80, the age goes away, and there's just something that immediately goes beyond physicality, which I think is really, really cool and great as you age to find that, you can find someone attractive that's in their 70s and 80s. I'll tell you this. I interviewed a 105-year-old woman in Louisiana a year ago, and I found her immensely appealing and would love to have spent a lot of time just talking to her, listening to her. The physical part obviously goes away, but finding someone that you can be a companion with almost at any age, I think, is still possible.
Yeah. So Marc, does the physical side go away?
Does the physical side go away? No.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Because I
I,
don't think it does. I think that's a myth. I think
no,
that
well,
people are still maybe differently, but I still think there's sexual chemistry.
I think you can, I think that you can meet somebody in their 60s, 65, 70, 75, or 80 and have a conversation with them. This is probably a terrible thing to say. And you can tell pretty damn quickly whether they are still, sexually active, whether they are still involved in a relationship of some sort. I think it is a myth for many people, but I think a lot of people that don't take care of themselves, that withdraw from life, it's kind of, it's the whole use it or lose it deal, and I think that applies to everything. I think it applies to your intellect. I think it applies to your energy level. I think it applies to your relationships. I think it applies to your sexuality. I think it applies to anything and everything. I'll tell you this, if you keep using it, you don't lose it.
That's so good to hear. I'm so happy to hear that, Marc. Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much, Marc. This has been amazing and super enlightening. I love having these really honest and real conversations and I just think we need to keep having them.
Until we get in trouble. I fear I'm going to get in trouble one of these days, but I'm willing to risk it.
Fantastic. Well, let's keep on. And if you haven't seen these before, keep watching them because they are so much fun and really engaging. And we'll see you next time.